The following podcast is brought to you by the Ebb Tide Treatment Center. Many people wrestle with addiction. You don't have to. Reach out to the Ebb Tide Treatment Center, where they wish to empower each individual encountered with the support, hope, and tools required for long-term sobriety, priding themselves on providing the best possible treatment experience for you and your loved ones based on unique needs. They're committed to breaking the stigma that plagues those suffering with addiction and their families by educating and bringing awareness to the community. The Ebb Tide Treatment Center provides individual and group therapy, multiple recovery pathways for support, evidence-based clinical support, integrated aftercare social reintegration, personalized treatment planning, program addressing whole life health, and Vivitrol program, all available. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, reach out to them at ebbtidetc.com or call 844-430-4357. Once again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. We got a great show for you today, but of course, as always, we want to start by giving a shout out to all of our sponsors that help us bring this show to you free each and every single week. First, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. You can try Angelo's award-winning pizza on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. They're feeding us today, and they help take care of you at all of our live events on Mount Carmel. Also, thanks to Smart Mark Video, who takes care of all of our video needs, and they're there filming every single live event that we have. If you want to purchase a previous show of AIW, head to smartmarkvideo.com, buy it on DVD, or download the MP4. And as always, we want to give a shout out to Jack Prince, who helps take care of our graphic design, logo, printing, any sort of need that we have when it comes to advertising. We do all of that through Jack Prince, and you can do the same by visiting jackprince.com.
That's JAK Prince.com.
That's right, and that voice that you heard, folks, is our special guest this week, none other than the only three-time AIW Absolute Champion, Ethan Page. My name is Steve Guy. I'm your moderator of sorts, and of course, we are always joined by AIW owner John Thorne.
Greetings.
What's up?
What's up? This is like a return to the... You used to be a podcaster.
Yeah, I had you on my show once, and then it died, so this might be the last episode.
This is just kind of going to be a little bit of a free-for-all as we...
Yeah, what the hell took so long to get me on the show?
Hey, you know, you're a busy guy.
What? No?
You're a busy guy.
I'm always on AIW.
We'll paint the picture for you guys. Essentially, as we're recording this, we're going into JLET weekend.
Yep.
And the three of us are sitting around in Mr. Page's hotel room.
Yes, sir.
Two of us comfortably on beds.
Well, he is in his own hotel room that he booked because the JLET hotel has been seized by the government. And we are not sure at this time how this story is going to shake out. So if this is news to you and the hotel ended up being okay for everybody.
Yes.
A little spoiler. The hotel has been seized by the government at the time of this recording.
Yeah, Thorne's a little stressed out today, I'm not going to lie.
We spent multiple hours and multiple pricings trying to figure out if we could get a better deal, and we kept not being able to. So we're like, yeah, we'll hold off.
It's 1:40:18 in the AM on the day of JLET. We have no hotel rooms for any of the talent coming to town.
Yeah, Mr. Whiskers, not happy if people are going to come bunk with him.
Oh, Steve Payne is not sleeping at my house.
Yeah, not a lot of room there. There's a treadmill.
Yes.
We can use that.
Yeah.
So
I love fitness.
I guess we'll have some structure to this, or we'll try.
You can.
That's what I'm here for.
Yep.
I try to provide the structure. Talk a little bit about, if you remember that far back, your first time being at AIW.
I remember my match. I remember everything I did in the match.
How did this come?
How did it shake out?
How did I get the Ethan Page curse that I have not been able to shake for?
I don't know why you say a curse, but I mean,
How many-
I would say a blessing.
How many years has it been?
What would that be? 2012? It would have been.
I think so.
Yeah, well, it was 2012, but maybe late in the year, because I was at. This is a true story. I was at an Evolve show, Evolve 11. I asked Gabe for a spot. He said I was too fat and not good enough, and then I wanted to quit wrestling. And I'm like dead serious. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna burn my boots as soon as I get home. Game over."
How far into wrestling in general were you at that point?
6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Probably at that time about 6 years. So I mean, that's a good chunk of my life that I devoted to wrestling. So that was it for me. I was like, well, F this. I run a promotion out of Canada called Alpha One. We did the pre-show for Evolve, so I couldn't just take off. So this whole ordeal happened. Yeah, you're not good enough. We don't want you on our show. And I was like, all right, I'm going to quit. While I was watching the Evolve show, Canadian female wrestler Jennifer Blake texted me. And this was after I already decided I want to retire. And she said, hey, I need a ride to this show in Cleveland. It's called AIW. I might be able to get you on the show. Would you be down to drive? And I was like, just let me know. I mean, it's possible. And then she said, yep, we can make this happen. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm in. And that was like, it was literally like, I'm done. This is it. And then the best thing that could have ever happened for me like minutes after.
Look at the positive vibe stories for AIW. Saving careers, John Thorne.
I guess so. I guess this is all my fault.
Why are you so negative about me?
Man, if not for
All those
you, the
people
world
you're
would
so
not-
mean to on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not mean to you, though, so don't worry about it. That's okay.
I'm mean to you, though.
Yeah, that is true.
So you
Many
take the
years.
drive.
Yeah, I took the drive. I drove Jennifer Blake to an all-girls show.
Love Jennifer Blake still to this day.
Do you love Jennifer Blake or do you love Niagara Falls, Canada?
I love both.
So
I was a big Derek Wilde fan when I was younger.
were you really?
I
The
mean,
Danger Boy?
I knew there was a time where me and like the origin stories of AIW, the guys that we were like backyarding with, there was a time where we were trying to figure out how to get Canadian dual citizenships because we were going to go train with that Neo Spirit Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because they did this big, like, they stole the company from the promoter or something.
Yep.
And we were like trying to move there for
That
a
was like
while.
a big Canadian company. That's before I was wrestling, but yeah, like
That's what it was called, right? Neo Spirit? But
yeah,
it was
Neo
called,
Spirit Pro.
And it was called something before that, and it became Neo Spirit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where like Eric Young came out of. Sean Spears or like Perfect 10. That's where he came out of. Derek Wilde. But yeah, so Jennifer Blake was booked for Girls Night Out. I believe Girls Night Out 6.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds about right.
And the pre-show match was against Eric Ryan.
Oh.
I remember exactly the gear I wore. I took a package pile driver from a 5'2" bald man.
He was a champ.
Yeah, he was. He was the champ at the time.
Wow. So your first match at AIW, you faced the champ.
Yeah, and like
He was around.
I
He was there.
I was actually very happy with it because, well, obviously, it landed me a spot in the J-Lit, ironically, where we are this
How about
weekend.
that?
That was really when Ethan Page came into the company full force. Was the next month
Yeah, the J-Lit weekend.
against Willie Mack.
Yep. With night 1, it was myself versus Willie Mack. Night 2, my memory is immaculate. I did a 4-way against Flip Kendrick, Tim Donst, and Facade.
Wow.
I got through it, and karma really hooked me up, and that's why I'm 3-time former Absolute Champion.
Why, John? What is putting you on the spot? I guess what is so special about Ethan Page that he is your only 3-time Absolute Champion? Is that just because he's around?
This man refuses to ever say anything good about
I
me.
know he does. It's about anybody. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hey man, someone's gotta be hard on all you fucking people and keep you guys grounded. Especially this guy is fucking all ego is all correct when it comes to Mr. Ethan Page.
Yeah. I think you should just be honest with people. That's why
I am honest with you.
That's why I'm so popular. My character it's real.
There's been times where he's like, man, check out this like really fucking cool thing I'm doing. I'm like, I mean, it's not that cool. It could have been cooler if you did this.
Dude, I get excited about things.
And he's like, why can't you just be nice to me one time?
Dude, I get excited about things. Now it took me 4 or 5 years to learn this. Do not tell John Thorne about anything you're excited about.
Oh, no.
If you want to stay excited about it.
Yeah, don't do that. It's a terrible idea.
It has nothing to do with me. Why am I going to be excited about it?
Yeah.
It's not going to excite me. People do this to me all the time. Like, oh, man, I got booked by this other independent wrestling company. Like, fucking congratulations. What the fuck? Like, it has nothing to do with me. It's not doing anything for me.
That's a valid point.
That is. So he's 3-time champ, though. Is that just because he's around and you're like, the timing worked out?
Yeah, him and Biggins are real close, man.
Yeah.
Well, since it is Jaylet,
Even though he's the booker.
Yeah, Biggins had some influence. He gets a couple votes in the board.
That's some heavy votes. 3 times to hold the title.
Well, we will get.
They were all circumstantial, though. Except for the
Not
first
the
one.
first one.
The first one was planned.
The first one was very. Yeah, you guys really.
The first one was
set me up.
planned like way months.
Yeah,
months,
you guys
months.
set me up big time for that one. That was a big turning point in my career. I think that was your guys' first big eye pay-per-view. You guys tried Girls Night Out first,
Yeah.
and then that Absolution. That was me and
did, like,
Gargano.
And we did the big angle to close it with
Yep.
Sleaze coming back to you. It was
Yep.
all a big plan the whole
with the
time.
promo. Yep.
Yeah, and I think the promo is what set you apart because it was real.
Yep.
Because you were really pissed at Gabe.
I was. Ironically, ended up working for him.
Now you're part of the Gabe Brigade.
Yeah. That's everyone asked me advice like, "Oh, how did you get a job with Evolve?" And I was like, "Oh, I just talked a bunch of shit about Gabe at AIW, and then I got booked," which is not how it happened. But I don't know. If you believe in yourself, just stick up for your talent, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't have an answer besides the first one. I like my memory used to be like really, really, really good with everything, and now it's just like so much stuff happens. It just all runs together.
This is where we miss Biggins.
Biggins would know everything.
He would know every detail, why and how it happened, and he'd know all
the
this.
only reason why Ethan Page even got booked the first time to drive Jennifer Blake is because she suggested him, and he saw him on an IWA Mid-South DVD, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he works for IWA Mid-South." He's telling me he's like,
Oh, you're in.
Who did?
Biggins.
Oh, thank you, Biggins.
He's telling me you're this big fucking prospect that did IWA Mid-South in the glory days.
You're definitely.
I did, and yeah, I did IWA
Yeah,
Mid-South
but he's
a
making,
couple times.
He's making it sound like you were fucking Tyler Black or
Well,
something.
thankfully, he did make me sound like Tyler Black.
Making it sound like you were fucking Matt Seidel.
That's good though. Worked out good for you guys.
You had another
I think
fun.
it worked out better for you.
Worked out great for me.
You had another fun Jaylet weekend memory, in that you had a singles match with none other than Buff Bagwell.
Yes. Look at me giving you all that viral content, John Thorne.
I mean, the Buff Bagwell year was probably like one of the funnest Jaylet.
Yeah,
years.
100%.
I think that year is what created the legend of like Jaylet weekend, and like really more for the boys than the fan. Like, I still feel like it hasn't totally caught on for the fans, but like if you're a wrestler, every wrestler's trying to get in on the Jaylet weekend, and I think the Buff Bagwell weekend was like kind of what really set that off, and like set like just the wrestling Jaylet is fine, but like that was the weekend that all the additional fun stuff and like
Well, you guys added the
bonding.
pre-show thing, right? With the buy a date with the wrestler,
Well, I
the
think
dance competition. You guys hooked up a
Was that-
Nintendo
I think that was that
64.
same year, right?
That
we
was the
did
first year, right?
We did that a couple years, but it was mainly because we needed to raise some money.
No. But that was the first year you guys did that, right?
If you say so. I mean, I don't know. I know we did it a couple times.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I mean,
And I know
been in
someone
this
paid
tournament.
$10 to sit at a table at Jimmy Jacobs once.
What was your experience with the American Male?
It was amazing. He had this weird manager guy though.
No, it was a girl.
No, it was a girl.
No. There's a huge dude.
His personal manager.
Yeah,
Shasta McNasty.
Yeah. And he would almost translate things that came out of my mouth in English into different English for Buff Bagwell to understand.
They're doing like hillbilly like ebonics or something like.
Okay, so
hillbonics.
So hillbonic. So the big thing out of that match was him hitting me with a Canadian destroyer.
Right.
Before everyone did a Canadian destroyer.
And he had never done it before.
Well, obviously. So for me to convince him to do it, so I pitched it to his real manager guy. What was his name?
Shasta McNasty.
Yeah, that McNasty guy.
Named after a failed television show on UPN. Shasta McNasty is a local Ohio promoter. Or was.
Well, there you go. So McNasty, Mr. McNasty, I tell Mr. McNasty I want him to do a Canadian destroyer to me. McNasty obviously goes, oh, this is a great idea. We have a documentary coming out on him. This might be big. So his way of pitching it to Buff was he's going to do a sunset flip where you don't let go.
I mean, that's a good description for him.
And I was like, this man's either a genius or he just stumbled on this amazing way of convincing him. So we kind of like, we didn't go through it, obviously, but we hooked it. And I was like, yep, this will be the jump or whatever. And Buff was all for it.
Did you like show him a video or anything?
Nope. No. Because at the end of the day, it's all me. As long as he holds on to my waist, I do the rest of it. Yeah. And for me to take a bump like that is like, I was like, oh, dude, it's one time ever.
I mean, how many times is Buff Bagwell going to be tossing that out?
Apparently, he did it again.
Well, he did tell me after the fact that people started requesting it
for sure
as a finish.
For sure.
I think that's really what put you on the map. Besides the gay promo, I think that.
Well, see, like with AIW, because people watch it, I would always try and do something. Like there was a point in time where every show I would show up with a scripted promo to try and, I don't know, because people would talk about the shows, and I wanted them to only talk about stuff that I was doing. So things I was doing, like my match with Sleazia, which was another J-Lit weekend classic. That match was accidental because somebody canceled, right?
Yeah, Addie Starr.
Yeah,
I canceled her.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah. That was, anyways. So
I do feel though that was always her match to have. Sleaze.
Yes.
And Destiny or Fate or whatever brought it back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just like, this Dan Severn situation.
Yeah.
But, I feel like it's all like I've thought about that a lot, and I feel like that was always supposed to be Sleazia's spot.
Agreed.
And I gave it away for selfish reasons.
It's okay. It ended up working itself out, and that match is out of, like, I've worked for these guys for probably close to, 5-6 years?
Yeah. Apparently, we just figured that out.
Yeah, 2012. It's 2017. That's 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that is still in my top 5 ever things I've ever done, is a match that ended up not being booked, but last minute being added.
And, like, a lot of people said that that's, like, the greatest match in J-Lit weekend history, period. Like,
still.
Yeah, still.
Damn.
Because, like, there's great matches at J-Lit weekend, but that stood out because it wasn't supposed to be great.
Yeah.
Then, plus, nobody even knew that Sleaze was a wrestler.
Yep.
She was just a manager in a dress for 2 years or whatever. Then she comes out with the gear on, and I think bell to bell, it's like 7 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's not long.
It's really short.
It's not long. Everything that we did was, like, it had a purpose, and it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so people listening to this can watch it for free right now.
And it won't hurt us any ad money.
Yeah.
It's all right. The previous million views,
it'll cost you nothing and make us nothing.
But I remember that, like, it was right after Dolph Ziggler won the World Championship, and he was hurt, and he was just there, and he was losing his fucking mind over that Sleaze match, like openly, just like on a chair, chanting, going crazy with all the rest of the fans. It was the most bizarre thing I ever saw.
Well, because we led into the match with a promo. to set it up.
Yeah.
So like, I remember we were traveling with Josh Alexander at the time. There was the three of us, and he was watching the match from the same doorway that he was at, because Ziggler would always sit next to the entrance so he could dip at intermission so he wouldn't get bombarded.
Right.
So he watched his reaction to everything that was happening in the ring, and he said it was the weirdest thing seeing the world heavyweight champion marking out for this promo and match that lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool enough for me.
Yeah. And then speaking of Ziggler, that's a perfect segue as we talk about.
Well, hold on. That was the year you won it, though, wasn't it? Or was it the year before?
No, I think it was the year before, because she was with me when I won it, and then we.
Oh yeah, you cashed it in.
Yeah, and then the following year
the heels always save it for a cash in, and the baby faces always say they want a match at Absolution.
That's right.
It's funny how that works.
Give away
funny how that works. Yeah.
But so to segue into that, another fun thing that you did and were part of at JLIT not JLIT, but at AIW to throw everyone off is Ziggler. As people know, he's from Cleveland, Ohio, and now has been attested to, I think, on the show a couple times. He makes his appearances, and his music hit during one of the shows. But it wasn't him that came out. It was Ethan Page.
That is correct. People were not happy about that because he tweeted the poster out, I believe, the day before.
There was controversy. It was right around the time
with
where
his contract.
He was going to leave.
Yeah. So good timing. Again, kind of fell in our laps.
My idea.
Yeah. It was Thorne's idea, and I'm always up for anything to troll people. I'm all about it, and it ended up being great. A guy that came to the seminar today actually told me that's probably why you brought it up.
That's right.
It reminded us that was his first indie show ever. And when he got hooked, he was like, "Oh my God, this is Dolph Ziggler." When I came out, he was like, "Wow, this guy's such an asshole. I hate him so much. I'm going to become a professional wrestler."
One of our now, at the time this airs, one of our now newly debuted students.
As spoke about last week, Austin, who couldn't rent the U-Haul.
Yes.
So that's your fault, Ethan Page.
Well, he also handed out the seminar sheets today and screwed it up, so... I mean, I literally collated these things into threes. It's 3 sheets. And I go, all right, guys, everyone got sheet 1? Everyone's like, yep. Everyone got sheet 2? One guy's like, no, I don't got that one. I was like, what the hell, Austin? And everyone got sheet 3? Same guy. No, I don't got that one. I go, how did you get 3 papers, but none of they're all the same?
Hey, man.
Is that what happened? They were all the same?
Yeah.
There's not an IQ test for the end of the AIW Academy.
Just a cardiovascular test, and that's it.
You just got to have a fucking operating bank account and know how to roll.
How did that seminar go?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, you guys have a lot of good students. A lot of people that obviously have passion for wrestling, and I don't know, there has to be some kind of weeding out process because...
No, I mean, I pretty much let them all go, dude.
Well, you got lucky because I was telling them all, eventually someone will say either continue to do this or quit. And there wasn't one person in the seminar that I wanted to be like, hey, you should quit.
We've had some people come through that are like, never come back, obviously.
Yeah.
They weed themselves out. But
yeah.
We haven't really had to weed anybody out.
That's good, though. It's very lucky.
I want to bring this up because even though he's not here, Mr. Biggins, and we talk about the relationship that you're close with these guys, they actually went to your wedding.
That's right.
That's where I was going, man. I wanted to get to the bottom of this veal situation.
Yeah. Oh, my God. These guys piss me off so much.
It's talked about on the Tamam, the meaning of mature T-Mom.
Yeah, let's bring this back up.
And now defunct podcast.
Who told you to defunct it, though?
You did. Anyways. We need to defunct this veal situation.
Okay.
So I had a wedding.
Yeah.
It was freaking epic.
Okay, this guy
in Canada.
No. It would be epic in any country. And this guy complained about the food. Probably one of the best meals he's ever had in his life.
I don't know, man.
Was veal the food on the menu?
There was a plethora of food.
Oh, veal was the only thing I would eat.
How was it served? Was this like sit down and
no,
it's family
per plate.
style?
Per plate.
Oh, okay.
The veal, you could get extra too if you asked for it.
What did you order?
No. That's not order.
Oh.
you got enough food that
plate
if you
is
didn't
all I
like
want.
something, there was more coming.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but go ahead. What were you complaining about?
Fucking not enough veal, dude.
Unlimited supply. All he had to do was ask.
I don't remember a lot about his wedding, to be
And
honest.
of course you didn't, because you had 16 kamikaze shots with Michael Elgin for every title Ric Flair held. So
Yeah.
that's what happens when you have an open bar at a wedding.
And John Greed. I was really fucking partying hard with John Greed.
It's true.
And then some other guy just kept telling me he was the real owner of Alpha One, and he kept trying to get in on our Four Horsemen.
Jesus. He's former Haas Division champion. Or is he still the current Haas Division champion?
No, Big Mo won it.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta get John Greed back down here. I like John Greed. You got a lot of prospects up there that I just don't have full-time spots for, but that I like them a lot.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of good dudes in Canada that...
What about that one guy you brought down and he was mad that I wouldn't let him be his name, so he just did DX chops the whole match?
Oh, yeah. Lucas Towns?
Yeah.
You gave two guys that name, I think.
No, the one guy's real name was Lucas Towns, I thought.
Yeah, Johnny Wave.
Yeah.
Ty Colton.
Ty Colton, yeah.
Dick Pants.
Dick Pants.
Yeah. You booked him and Flip as a tag team for a little while.
Because that other guy had fucking... Flip is like the king of the... Duke said he's a utility man. Flip Kendrick is the utility man.
Utility man.
Yeah, that could. Yeah,
He fills every spot on the roster.
Yeah, are you doing Adam Cole versus Duke tomorrow? Or Saturday?
Oh, he asked.
that was another part of the stipulation. For,
No, he just straight up... He just straight up asked.
Oh,
He said it would draw.
Look, I love Duke.
yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna get to this. But in what universe do you agree with him and say, yeah, let's do that?
Yeah, him versus Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Dude, he legitimately, honestly, texted me. He was like, "Who's wrestling Cole?" I mean, I'll do it. And I was like, "Do you really think that I booked him with zero plan?" He goes, "Well, you never know. I'm just saying, I'm available, and I think people would want to see it."
Can you fault him for even asking though?
Yes.
You gotta think about who he was asking.
Nobody would.
Like, do you?
I wouldn't say, "Hey, any promoter in the world, book me against Adam Cole." I'm smart enough to realize that. I feel all wrestlers should be smart enough to realize their skill set.
So what you're saying is the chances of you wrestling Adam Cole are higher than the Duke wrestling Adam Cole, and you said you'll never wrestle him.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the Duke hasn't learned by now that that's not a question he should have asked Thorne.
Who was he gonna ask?
He has.
I mean, at this point, right?
He has no shame, man. He just throws it all out there. He's also trying to defend his fucking UXWA championship belt on the Saturday afternoon show.
Oh man. Oh man.
The Duke just he throws it all at the wall.
Good. That's a good trait to have.
Is it?
Hey, some's got to stick eventually.
Hasn't yet.
You book him.
I don't know if I book him.
He comes.
He's there.
He comes.
He's there.
He manages people.
I don't know what his financial statement's looking like from the Absolute Intense Wrestling LLC. I don't know if any checks have been sent his way.
This is,
It's all cash at AIW, guys.
there is going to be a text to John Thorne the moment that this is released.
Hey, you fucking asshole! I wasn't serious.
I was getting over on that podcast. Why
I
you gotta bury me
hope
again?
he was serious. It would make it better.
You're gonna get yelled at for burying him.
I
on
love
this
the
podcast
Duke.
board.
You think I'm mean to you? You should see the shit I say to the Duke.
Oh yeah, make sure you
Yeah.
go back and listen to that episode.
No, don't listen. You should see the text messages I send.
That'll be a post-recording thing.
So your wedding. Let's go back to that.
Sure.
You were obviously very much aware that John Thorne was just getting hammered.
Yes.
I was well behaved.
I would say both.
Is it accurate?
Yeah. Other than the terrible gift he gave me,
Oh, what was
which
that?
was shampoo, lotion, a napkin, and the receipt for his hotel. That was legit. That dude, when I got the envelope, I literally thought, "Holy shit! This is the thickest envelope in this entire wedding." And like I'm European, so
Put shampoo in an envelope.
no, like a shampoo packet.
All the hotel stuff.
Yeah, everything at the hotel. So he literally gave me this. Dude, I'm not kidding. I literally thought, holy shit, all these years of working for like gas money.
Yeah.
This is the day. John Thorne paid me back, came to my wedding. He just went baller style. I open it up.
As I'm known for, going baller style.
Yeah. My wife starts laughing. Me? Not a fucking crack on my face. I was pissed.
I'm glad Viv appreciates my sense of humor.
Oh, my parents even thought it was funny. I was like, this is not funny. You know how much a plate of food was at that wedding? A lot of money.
So what was that?
Could have fucking got a little more veal.
Jeez. Okay, fine. So let's say the veal wasn't enough for John Thorne. The midnight buffet could have been the 3,000 calories of booze that he got unlimited supply
calories,
of.
a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably went over that. I was drinking fucking blue dye drinks. Dude.
Yeah.
Did Chandler Biggins have anything to drink at this wedding?
Fucking
Did he know he was the DD, right?
no. He refused to drive in Canada because he
that's
didn't
right.
understand kilometers.
Oh my! Which cars have both on them?
Yes, they do.
Anyways,
He rented a car.
that's a Biggins thing. Tornadoes are real.
He rented a car, and then brought Alex Daniels as his date to the wedding, and
Right.
hoping Alex Daniels would drive. But then I drove the whole time.
How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave him a +1.
Dick Justice was my date.
Yeah, you give someone you give someone a +1. It's a free for all.
Especially like at a
point.
wrestler wedding.
Well, no, it wasn't a wrestler wedding.
Well, okay. So
There were wrestlers there, but I couldn't have given a shit about any of them.
Did I give the best gift of the wrestlers?
No, you gave the most inexpensive gift.
We PayPal'd you a couple days later.
Yes, that is true.
We let it just simmer for a little bit.
It was a good
PayPal
rib.
him wedding money.
Yeah, it was a good rib. Yeah.
In Canada, is it still tradition, like customary? It's supposed to be the bride's family that pays for the wedding.
I think that's like a very old timey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it was epic. I don't know.
It was very epic. Yeah.
I'm just wondering who shells out the dough for this.
Me and my wife paid for it.
You still paying it off today?
But no. I ran it like a business. We had events leading up to it to raise money to pay for
Alpha
it.
One paid for that wedding.
Anti-bullying campaign paid for that wedding.
No, come on, guys. Come on. Alpha One is a non-profit, okay? Let's change the subject.
Yeah, it only fucking pays for weddings. Him and fucking that other fake owner that I met at the bar doing kamikaze shots with me.
No comment.
Yeah.
Next subject.
What is? I mean, you've been around. Sometimes you do commentary. You're one of the guys. Like, you're not necessarily in the locker room the entire time during the shows. You're usually out there. You're hanging out at your merch table, even though you're not trying to sell it, obviously, during. But you're watching.
Oh, he's trying to sell it at all times.
Yeah, and that is not true. That's very rude.
What?
I'm not facade.
What are some of like your favorite moments, either just because they were good or because you got a kick out of them, like that you've been back there watching?
There's probably a lot that he can't say.
Well, backstage, yes, a bajillion things I can't say.
I feel like
in the ring or like a moment on the show.
Yeah. I know one is probably one that we haven't talked about on this podcast yet, but it was the return of a certain AIW wrestler in April.
Oh, recently.
Yeah, when you did commentary.
That was a moment. That was a moment that myself and Hornswoggle really tried our best to make happen.
Oh, it happened.
Selfishly, like 100% selfishly, because we both wanted to see Thorne geared up and wrestle.
It was initially my idea, though.
Yeah, you. As soon as you laid it on the table, both of us were like, "Oh, we need to make sure this goes through."
And then,
But I don't think Lufisto knew that I was even ever a wrestler ever.
No, I told her.
But when it was first brought up,
Yeah, I'm sure it was like, "Oh, you wanted me to do what?"
yeah.
Yeah, no. But that match was awesome.
Yeah, because I fucking deliver, dude.
Well, yeah, dude, it's your show. You should.
I'm basically like The Rock. I just come in every couple of years, knock it out of the park, go back to making movies.
there you go.
There you go.
But I haven't made a movie yet.
What are some of your others?
Let's talk about this because I haven't watched this match yet because I don't want to get mad at Ethan Page for the commentary.
Which match?
My match.
Oh, that's.
all right.
Hold on. You haven't watched it because of the commentary?
No, I just haven't. I just don't want to watch it.
Oh, dude, me and Swoggle killed the commentary. It was great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We kept it profesh.
I fucking just looked over when it was over. I'm ready to puke. And I just see you motherfuckers standing on chairs, laughing hysterically.
We were having the bet. Dude, you blew us away. You took a back body drop on uneven ground on like a what's it called? A stadium seating tiered bleachers. Yeah.
What the fuck else was I going to do? I wasn't going to do no fucking hurricanranas.
No, you took a Saito suplex on a downward slope.
That ramp. Ooh.
Which
I was telling a story out there, man.
Yeah, the story was that you were willing to die.
I was going to die for this company, dude.
Yeah, no kidding. It was wild. What was the show called?
The next episode.
Yeah, next episode. Yeah, honestly, check it out. It was wild. Even just for the commentary, we were legitimately, if we're laughing or if our reactions are on, they're real. Like, they're all real.
I got a fucking hell of a pop, though.
From us, hell yeah.
From the whole crowd.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
Nobody saw that coming.
No, nobody.
I actually wasn't that nervous. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be.
It was like riding a bike, as cheesy as it is.
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe a little wobbly at first.
Serious question. I'm going to interview you now.
Okay.
How mad is Biggins going to be when he finds out that you wrestled at AIW?
So
mad is what you... So mad.
Yeah, so mad. And right after that is when his health took like a really bad turn.
It's because of you.
I thought that.
No.
I thought that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like the next day.
That'd be so heartbreaking. I doubt that. There's no chance.
I was just like,
does he know yet? Has he figured? Did anyone tell him?
I mean, his mom told him, but I don't know if he
understood. Yeah,
like understood because he's been so in and out. Mm-hmm. But he's gonna be so mad because
Oh.
You know as well as anybody. Because you've been trying to wrestle me for 5 years.
Yup. I've been pitching.
And Biggins throws a fit.
Nope. Nothing on camera. We're both got to be off camera.
How upset were you then, since you've been trying to wrestle him for 5 years, and then he just throws himself in this match?
No, because that means it's a possibility now. All that is that window just opens just a little bit.
I'm not even going to try to put myself over like the Duke, but the next day, so many guys were pitching me.
I was one of them.
To wrestle them at Absolution, like it's fucking like I'm the fucking Goldberg match or something. Like,
dude, I was one of them. I'm just saying, if the price is right,
listen,
the passion will always be there.
I gotta
See what I did there?
I gotta get about.
That was good.
I gotta get back on a fucking diet. Absolution's right around the corner. This Biggins situation has really done a number on my fitness, fitness regime. It is stressful. I've taken on a lot of responsibilities. It sucks. I don't even drink at the shows anymore.
Yeah, you know it's serious.
I know. I fucking got to keep a clear head. You never know when you got to fucking track down Dan Severn at the last minute.
Thank goodness for those after parties. You could drink at those still.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I might be cleaning my act up. I got to get ready for Ethan Page at Absolution this year.
Oh, yeah. This year?
Yeah.
Yes, this is awesome.
July 21st.
There you go.
I pitched him an idea. I hope it happens.
We got to see if the people want it.
I want it.
I know you want it.
But back to your original question. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay.
The Duke versus, and this is not a joke because I was messing with him earlier on the show. The Duke versus Jock Sampson in a Texas bull rope match.
Okay.
It was my first Absolution. So it was like a 6-way scramble, which it was cool for me because it was the first time I got to work with Eddie Kingston. I think Eric Cannon was in it. Drake Younger was in it. And it was I was breaking into the indies in the U.S., so it was cool for me. Then, not knowing anything about who these wrestlers were, especially the Duke and Jock Sampson, and I remember coming from the locker room, just the way the venue was, going down the hallway and then coming through the front door. And as I came through the front door, Duke had Jock Sampson on his shoulder and did a Rikishi driver through a table that was across a guardrail.
I call that sabooing the table.
Yeah, he sabooed the table. Okay. And it was a moment. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I had goosebumps because the people were going absolutely nuts. They were bleeding. You had the bull rope. They were in bunkhouse gear. It just felt special.
And those two guys that nobody expected anything out of.
Exactly. So it was that. I'm not kidding. Like, I'll never, ever forget that.
Thorne just said something pretty poignant there. To you, and I think to a lot of people, this is what AIW is. So I guess my question is, to you, is AIW the place where special things happen because people don't... It happens out of people they don't expect it to, right? Like, there's a lot of, like, low-key guys, I think, at AIW.
I like
just, like...
So, like, I've said this a million times, but, you know, like, you see the same 6 to 8 guys on every single indie show.
Right.
And, like, I don't like that. I like finding these guys that are, like, from the fringes of, like, the fucking edges of the world of fucking independent pro wrestling, like a Jock Sampson. Like, if we didn't fucking start putting Jock Sampson on shows, that guy would have existed all over the South and these weird shows in West Virginia.
I met him before I did AIW.
Yeah, and like he's been around forever.
No.
Oh.
He's just,
some Ohio Fed.
Yeah.
I watched him propose to his wife. He was just a dude. I never thought I'd see him again until I worked at AIW.
That's what I like. I like finding these guys that are just like out there. You know what I mean? And just fucking, you know, they're good, but like just nobody's found them yet. Nobody's like there's no, like, I really enjoy just like scouting these guys. That's why, you know, when Ethan Page came in, then that brought in Solis and that brought in Josh Alexander, and, you know, other guys have come and gone and filled spots. But like, what made them so great is nobody ever heard of these guys really before, except for Chandler Biggins, who saw him on IWA Mid-South TV. Nobody ever heard of these guys before, and they thought they're rookies, but they've been wrestling for 10 years, and they're coming in smoother and more experienced than most of the guys that were around the scene and around AIW at that time. So they immediately started standing out. You know, and if he doesn't get in that car with Jennifer Blake that day, wrestling may have never seen Silesia Sparks or Josh Alexander, because
Elgin might not have ever been in AIW.
Oh, he would have, because he was one of those guys that was texting me every day. Every day. Like, he was, like, texting me nonstop all the time, like, looking for a spot. Like, before he was, you know, this is like Elgin just getting in shape out of fucking biscuits and gravy or whatever.
Yep.
Elgin.
What's up, everybody? This is Alex, Worldwide Killer, reporting to you live from sunny Miami, Florida. That's right, I'm currently on location chasing around Adam Cole and Britt Baker with adoption papers trying to get in on this Team Caker deal. Anyway, I got to tell you about the thrift store jobber this week. He's got a doozy of a shirt. Hot boy. Dr. Death Steve Williams, UWF World Champ. That's right. Bill Watts was getting into the merchandising game, and he pulled out all the stops on this one. White ink on a red shirt signed by the man himself, Dr. Death. And let me tell you about a deal at Thrift Store Jobber. He's on Instagram, he's on Etsy, he's on eBay. And if you use the promo code WORLDWIDE, you get 10% off any order. That's at Thrift Store Jobber. Worldwide.
Another memory with AIW was the first and only real National Pro Wrestling Day, where all wrestling companies came together to put on the 2 shows in one day. And all people were talking about after the whole weekend was AIW and Shiva Kid doing a double moonsault.
And I mean, we took that. I think we were the only ones that took that and really understood what that opportunity was.
Yeah.
To brand AIW as its own thing.
Yeah. Like, you presented guys that people didn't know relatively, and everyone else was booking guys that you could see everywhere else.
And that's why we did it. And that's why, I really felt like Solis was such a fucking integral part of the trio, because she instantly made it stand out and be different, because nobody was bringing in a valet.
Manager, yeah.
You know, nobody had ever seen a girl like her. She had a really unique look. I remember, like, me and Biggins wore suits. We got banners made for our fucking merch table.
Yep.
Like, we set it up like we treated that like a trade show. And like, I think other people just, you know, like, I feel like some people just go, it's just another show. You know what I mean? But like, I saw that as an opportunity because it was free.
Yep.
It was in Philadelphia, and it was going to be on iPay-per-view. And I think that was a really big turning point for AIW.
Oh yeah, it was for me.
And I know there's a lot of people that say a lot of bad things about Chikara and Mike Quackenbush and how they do things, but Quack has always given us an opportunity to expose ourselves to a larger fan base, and that was one of them. And he put us on a fucking really good spot on that fucking first show, and I think that's what really got eyes on AIW. And like we came with like merch and all sorts of shit.
And like you guys easily could have convinced anyone that you guys book regularly to do the show for nothing, but instead you paid 3 people to drive all the way from Canada to Philadelphia, got us a hotel, and like you got 3 polished performers to come wrestle for you.
Because we looked at it like it's just kind of the same thing that I tell our wrestling students is like you got to invest in yourself. That was an investment in AIW to get more eyes and raise the profile. So it was just like, yeah, we're gonna take a hit on all this stuff, and we're not gonna get any money for this, but we're gonna sell merch, and hopefully we're gonna come out of it with more fans from the East Coast, and I truly feel that it worked. I think
it did too.
I think people started traveling to AIW shows and stuff since then, but I'll never forget that Celise had to be escorted to the car by security because people were like mobbing her for photos. It was like it was the most.
DJ Hyde was one of them.
He sure was. Like she had to be escorted out by Atlas security. I never seen anything like that because like she was just, she was just a girl that did AIW shows, and like she's getting mobbed by people for photos. Like she's like a fucking celebrity. It was so bizarre, and all because she was just on the fucking free match earlier in the day.
As we kind of were beginning this, and you were telling your story, you'd already been wrestling about 6 years. You got to AIW. At this point, even less than that, you've been part of AIW almost 5 years now, and really, you truly are one of the leaders in the locker room at this point when we have these shows. Does that happen because you feel like you're a veteran and you've been in wrestling long enough, or is it more so because of, I don't know, some sort of heartstring that AIW pulls on for you and you want to take care of the brand? And
I think it's more that than anything. Like I wouldn't even say I'm a leader. I just think that when things need to get done, I know Thorne trusts if he says, hey, can you make sure such and such, or we do this, or J-Pro can't do the meeting. Do you mind just relaying this message? And I don't mind. Like I've worked for him long enough. I know what he wants out of his shows, or I know what he wants out of his talent. And I don't know. And plus, I wouldn't even say that anyone really truly leads the locker room downstairs. I just feel like AIW has a vibe of everybody gets along, and if you don't get along, eventually John Thorne will cut you.
It's not what we heard on different podcasts. We won't get back into that.
Everybody pretty much gets along, and if you don't get along,
you get cut.
On some other podcast we won't talk about, somebody said that nobody gets along in that locker room. But thanks for putting that to bed and debunking that too.
Oh, the Matt Riddle podcast.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
yeah, that's odd.
Obviously, he's been caught in a zillion lots since that podcast.
But there you go, folks. So everybody gets along in the locker room.
Nine times out of I would say, yeah. There's people in the locker room that annoy the shit out of me that I don't like. But like, if you're gonna go for a 99%, that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I that's just kind of like my style. I don't need to micromanage. I feel like I'm gonna get more out of people if I just let them kind of be. I know what they can do. So go out there and do it. I don't need to tell you how to do it or what to do. Like, you guys are professionals, Like, and that's just kind of like the culture of the locker room. Like, there really isn't a leader. Like, there's been people that, like, don't even know who I am for, like, 3 or 4 shows.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like a really loose environment. And
some people thrive in that though too. Like I think that helped me. You just kind of give the skeleton of where you want this to go, which is usually nothing until around this time where you're trying to build to absolution.
Right. And like it goes like, there's like a few there's some storylines that happen throughout the year.
Yeah.
But like it gets really tightened up around this time, so we can just build to, the 8 or whatever fucking matches on Absolution, and then we start all over again. But also, like, you're one of probably the few guys that's like actually can approach me and is in the inner circle. There's like some guys that I don't talk to at all on the roster.
Yeah.
It's just different relationships for different talents.
Mm-hmm.
As we probably winding down here, throw some behind the scenes fun memories in the last 5 years.
Oh, jeez.
What about that one time you got real drunk and you kicked that girl
and puked in that Denny's?
And then you puked in the Denny's.
Yeah. So I'm not a drinker. I don't know if that's a known fact. But
Yeah, we're sipping on Red Bull Limeade right now
to keep me awake. I'll make it a known fact. I'm not a drinker. But for some reason, I was convinced to drink alcohol. We had people to drive me home. Thorne invited us out. Eddie Kingston was there. ACH was there. I liked hanging out with them. Obviously, Biggins and Thorne we're pretty close. So someone bought me a beer. Fans started buying me apple pie shots. This was a thing. Then I was getting Blue Kamikazes bought for me. And then I started singing I'm on a Boat with ACH, and now I'm wasted. Then something happened that I needed to go outside. Either Biggins had one of my bags in his car. I don't remember the situation. A lady said, "Hey, sir, can you take a picture for me?" And I said, "Huh? What did you say?" And she said, "Can you take a picture for me?" I said, "Yeah, can you sell for me?" And I threw a bicycle kick at this random lady on the street, and I slapped my leg. I didn't hit the lady, don't worry, listeners. But she was super freaked out by it. But Biggins was outside and saw this happen, and then I sat on the cement with Biggins while he said, I think you're a little messed up. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right. And I kept calling him boss and big boss. And then we went to Denny's, and I was just completely out of it. I literally sat in my own booth alone with my head in my hands, apparently making Undertaker noises. Like I was like, and then eventually I stood up and puked all over the Denny's. And yeah, that's
probably a team. That's probably a team behind the scenes story that we could tell.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that your favorite Ethan Page behind the scenes story?
Listen, there's not a lot of, like, he doesn't get into
he doesn't get wild. Yeah, he doesn't.
No,
get
like
into trouble.
that's the wildest.
Right.
I'm more of an observer, not a peeping Tom observer, but like
he likes hearing about the mischief.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you observe anything fun that you can share? Or are they all non-shareable?
Most of them are very non-shareable.
This is why you folks look. At this point, Jayla is over, and there probably are more stories that happen, if you're listening to this, that happened over the weekend that you would have missed.
It's the end of an era.
And folks, this is why you need to go to a Jayla weekend.
There was a legendary, there is one legendary story that in the wrestling business everybody's heard of a certain female wrestler and a certain male wrestler literally while intimately, passionately making out, beating the shit out of each other in a bar while
in front of all the fans,
while Buff Bagwell, who I believe was on parole at the time, was serving alcohol. Probation was serving alcohol to the wrestlers during Jaylee weekend.
It's bartending.
Yeah. So I think that was the wildest J-Lit.
That was a really wild J-Lit.
No. I would. Yeah, I think that was the wildest J-Lit.
I think. I don't think it ever got crazier than that.
No.
Because that was only the beginning of that situation.
Yeah. That
was the same part.
It escalated drastically. Like
we'll leave it at that, folks.
But I'm just saying, some shit goes down sometimes.
Yeah, at the Jaylit Hotel.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it's open.
Hopefully the government released it and all is well. If not, you're gonna hear all about that story.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not a headache I hope you guys have to deal with tomorrow.
Anything else you guys wanna touch on here?
I mean, I feel like people might be a little disappointed we don't divulge too much juicy stuff in this one, but it's just this is more of a traditional interview podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Which is not our norm, you know, but this is a good change of pace coming off of so many weeks with either the Duke or Worldwide.
Last week, which had both.
Well, at least I can raise the star power a little bit, you know?
I mean, they're just... You don't have too much controversy to discuss.
Yeah, that's true. No, I try and avoid being a part of stuff like that.
You used to not, though. You used to thrive on controversy and having a very short fuse, which I still think you do.
Yeah, I for sure do. I have a very hard time keeping my shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like when the drunk dudes were yelling at you? You remember that? That was
yeah. That happens to me all the time. Yeah, that was great. That's just I might have broke character.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There was like a gray area.
Yeah, that's me all the time.
What now, you drunk pieces of shit?
Yeah. I don't like swearing in front of live audiences, but those guys were belligerently drunk, and it was like 3 grown men. And when I say grown men, I mean
they were like
like
in their 50s.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Hey,
remember.
we don't discriminate. Tickets are the same for everybody at the door.
I don't remember
Even
who
kids.
that match
Even
was
kids,
with.
yeah.
I hate that fucking. How much for a kid? Is your kid going to sit in the seat? Yeah. It's full price.
Don't matter how big the butt is. If it takes a seat up, it's the same price.
Do you remember who that match was with?
I believe I was myself against J Pro.
Was it?
Yeah. I had a string of matches with him. I really enjoyed wrestling him.
Yeah, that was
Did you feel like you were living your teenage
UWA man, yeah.
UWA hardcore dreams?
That's right. He was like the man on the mic. He was like the golden microphone of Canada in that time.
And now he's still going.
And he's still amazing on the mic.
Yeah, and he feels like he gets so like down on himself, and I just don't like, you know what I mean? Like he's still just as good as he's always been.
And I think he's in probably the best shape of his life right now.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
He's really proud about dropping the LBs.
Yeah. And he's all tanned up. Yeah. I got to convince him to bring the gladiator gear out.
You think he's tanned up?
No, he is. He's majorly tanned up right now. Maybe not. I don't know what he looks like now. Last time I saw him, he was.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we got to get the old biker shorts with the Mortal Kombat gear.
Well,
get him in some tights.
I think that's going to about do it for this one.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I guess this is the AIW Ethan Page origins story here. Join us next week. Thanks again.
We didn't get into so many of his origins.
We didn't get into?
We didn't even get into Ethan Gabriel Owens.
No.
Oh,
that time I skipped out on an AIW show to do a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Me and Thorm almost killed each other.
Oh, that was the maddest I've ever been at him.
That was the maddest I've ever been at you,
I
too.
mean, we don't have to cut this off. Where were these stories? Let's spill that,
dude.
now.
I've worked
It's
for
brought up.
I've worked for him for 5 years.
All right.
I have changed my character more times in AIW than I think anyone else has, because while the company has grown, I want to stay relevant.
So this is what people want to hear. They want to hear the story about you guys almost killing each other. I'm telling you.
I mean,
Which one?
all the time.
Which one?
Oh,
last week.
What do you got?
The week before that.
What's the angriest you think that you guys have been at each other? That Ring of Honor moment?
No. I've been more mad at you than that.
Well, anytime he's canceled on me for Ring of Honor,
which was once, not any time. Dude, don't even give me that PWG. We were supposed to win DDT, but we didn't because we had to catch a red eye to wrestle Jaylit the next day. Oh, there's a scoop for you.
There you go.
I don't think that was ever supposed to be talked about. But anyways, yeah, because me and Josh wrestled each other.
You won. You won the belt for a little bit.
Yeah, we were supposed to win the tournament.
You were the champ. You were the AIW champ, though. I think at the time. Or
Josh was.
Couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Ethan Gabriel Owens, I was pretty mad at him about.
Yeah, I was.
What's
mad.
that story?
So Ring of Honor was giving me bookings. I was going to say an opportunity, but it wasn't. I would say bookings. And then we eventually got booked to do an pay-per-view, but it was literally last minute. And this was when they were going through the whole stress of the Wrestle Rager triple shot weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a past episode. I listened to it. It's great. You should go check it out. So, the stresses of that whole weekend.
Right.
And last minute, we were both like, yo, we're not coming. we're going to do your show on Friday. We're going to drive back to Toronto, do the pay-per-view for Ring of Honor, then drive back to your show on Sunday.
And that's when Solis and Elgin got banned, isn't it?
You know what? Yes, it was. Because Elgin couldn't come on the Sunday because he went back to Toronto for the pay-per-view, didn't have his green card, or he applied for his green card, didn't have a visa. There was a whole issue there. Then Sleazia tried to come back on her own and said that she was going to party. And they were like, you're not partying. You're on this Ring of Honor poster or whatever. And she got banned. And then myself and Josh were there both like, oh, shit, what the hell?
Solis, man. Free Solis. She's, how many years ago was that? How many she's got left on her
she got
fucking
left?
2.5. I think she's halfway done.
Oh.
At least. Maybe more.
I don't know. I used to talk to her all the time. I don't talk to her that much anymore. I just sent her photos of me proposing to her about once every 6 months.
Yeah, I don't like her anymore.
Yeah,
We had a falling out.
That's so sad. The hottest act in independent wrestling.
Yeah, and she canceled on me because she was hungover twice.
She likes the party. She stole the border.
I know, but like, come on, be professional.
So how does
What was the maddest you've ever been at me?
yeah.
Oh, I can't even remember.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, you just try and tell me what to do too much, and I don't like people telling me what to do because I have a.
I give you constructive criticism.
No, it is not constructive. Yeah. You give nothing you do is constructive.
It's constructive.
All you do is shit on people and go, don't do that. No real like semblance of advice. That's not constructive. That's negative.
I'll say it would be better if you did it this way.
No, you never say that.
Oh yeah.
You never offer a solution or like a better
offer plenty of
avenue.
solutions.
That's a lie. You just go, I don't know, maybe you do it a different way, but that's a terrible idea and it sucks and you're shit and you're never gonna make money like that. You fucking suck. That's a John Thorne quote.
Probably.
That goes back to if you're excited about something.
Yeah,
You
don't tell John Thorne. No.
I don't get excited about anything.
No. Yeah, see?
He gets excited about Mr. Whiskers. That's about it.
I don't know.
And
I don't
maybe-
get
No?
excited about
Not
it.
anymore?
Yeah.
I gotta fucking pay for that cat.
How old is Mr. Whiskers?
It's up. Yes, I had since like 2010.
I was gonna say, ever since I've worked for you, you've had him.
And I inherited it from a ex-girlfriend.
Oh, there you go.
It's like a kid that was left on my doorstep. I was very anti-pet. I was forced to foster this child.
Cats are easy though. You can just leave food; they'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
That lower box.
Come and go.
I'm still interested to know what's maddest you've ever been at me.
Yeah.
I've been mad at you many times. Like, it's just remembering what it is.
Do you get so angry you just black out? So now it goes away from your memory?
I don't black out. I'll just disappear for a little bit. Like
You ghost?
I ghost hard. There's been a couple times where we have these like secret group chats, and John Thorne is the only human being that's upset me so much I leave the group. Only one.
Does he like
Mic drop, leave. Like, fuck this. Julian has left the group. I just said my real name, whatever.
Does he shit on you in the group and that's why you leave?
In front of people.
So it's not that he has said something to the group about the group and it's just some asinine comment. It's specifically
it's to
geared
me.
towards you.
Yeah. Like, I'll be like, there's a group. It's all our buddies. And I'll be like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. There's this thing. Blah, blah. And everyone is like, oh, that sounds great. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, I'm so excited for you, John Thorne. Yeah, it's going to suck. It's not going to be good. You shouldn't be excited about it. I would just,
I'm right 9 out of 10.
I'm not commenting on that. See? I'm not commenting. It doesn't matter. You should be happy for your friends.
I'm trying to keep you grounded, man. I don't want you to get false hope.
And yet you invite this man to your wedding, perhaps the most exciting day of your life.
Yeah, definitely the happiest day.
Yeah.
Yeah, all downhill after that.
I was there.
That was a window of opportunity for John Thorne to go, oh, we're friends? Oh, you mean I can just talk mad shit to you all the time. Okay.
Hey, at least I care about you enough to give you criticism and feedback.
That's true. I know it comes from, although a negative and dark place, a positive one as well.
It's not negative.
It's just dark. It's not negative.
Sometimes you just gotta keep it real and just say, hey, this isn't gonna go the way you think, man.
That's true.
You're like, this is it, man. This is the thing that I'm gonna do and set me to the next level. And I'll say, Gabe ain't putting that belt on you, man.
Okay, come on, man. And thank you for listening to this week's episode of The Car is Subject to Change.
The car is going to change.
The car is going to change, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like your title runs and evolve.
Oh, man.
Hey, man. 3-time absolute champion.
I mean, you could just...
Yeah, I had faith in you to put a strap on you. Now it's Gabe's turn.
Look, your promos against Evolve got you booked there. You might as well throw him under the bus more, and then maybe you will get that title run.
Yep, maybe.
Oh, well, I think then that's a good end note right there. Officially, that's
Sure.
the end note, right? Yeah.
Final words?
That was it, I think.
And thus was the career of Ethan Page. Thanks for joining us here. AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Thanks to our sponsors, the Ebb Tide Treatment Center, Thrift Store Jobber, Smart Mark Video, Angelo's Pizza, and of course Jack Prince for Ethan Page and John Thorne.
And maybe or maybe not the Howard Johnson Cleveland Airport location.
Yep.
It's still up in the air.
You'll hear the rest of that story on a later episode. For John Thorne, Ethan Page, my name is Steve Guy. Thanks, and we'll talk to you guys next week.